Welcome to The Good Pod, where today we're talking The Good Wife, Season 3, Episode 1, A New Day. I am one of your hosts, Jason Reed. With me, as always, Marissa Garza. Marissa, you good?
I'm good, Jason. I'm Season 3 good. You Season 3 good?
Season 3 good, baby. It's a new day, a new season, and it's interesting. It's fun. And we have a special guest with us today. Our first guest on The Good Wife side of things, my friend... Tayne from the Altar Call podcast. Tayne, you good?
I'm good. I'm good and good. I'm guest star good.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, listen, The Good Wife is known for guest stars, and we are getting in the guest star game. Tayne, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about your Good Wife journey. Were you a every week watcher back in the day? Were you late to the show? Were you are you a Good Wife completist? Are you with the Good Wife, the Good Fight, and Ellsworth? Tell us about your Good Wife journey.
Sure. My name is Tayne, and I suffer from TV FOMO. So everyone was talking about Good Wife, and I was like, I'm not going to be left behind. So I used to watch that every week, and after Good Wife, then Good Fight. Now we have too much to watch, so I don't watch Elsbeth, but I did follow that every single week, and it was back in the day when network TV was still alive. So
exactly, it was appointment television. I had to tape it, or you check it out on Xfinity on demand or whatever. It was before the age of streaming services and DVRs, when you might have had to watch something the time and date it came out in. So, Tayne, tell us a little bit about what you do now. Like, because listen, I know you, the podcast Altar Call, where we share a weird obsession with the show Married at First Sight, and you cover that on your podcast. We also cover a lot of other stuff. So, give us a little bit of a overview of Altar Call and what you do on that podcast.
Sure. So on Altar Call, like Jason said, cover mostly Married at First Sight, Day One Watcher, just talk about that all the time. And then we also do the Love is Blinds. And then in the off seasons when, Married at First Sight Kinetic doesn't tell us, they don't give us information. We don't know when things are coming back. It could be a year, it could be 2 months. We don't know. So during that time, I just watch a lot of stuff and I just cover whatever fits my fancy. If you're looking for documentaries, they're on there. I'm also a fan of competitive reality shows. So most recently I covered Secret Millionaire, and that's on there too. And so anything you're looking for in that regard, covered Pop the Balloon, it's on there. So anything and anything could be, it's very random, but I just like to talk about TV. So if you think there's a TV show that you're like, oh, I'm the only one watching, don't worry, I got you. You can check me out on my podcast.
Fantastic. Yeah, I've been on Tayne's podcast, mostly talking about Married at First Sight. We built a fun little relationship over the past few years about our Married at First Sight obsession. And one of those times I was on, I mentioned this podcast, and Tayne was, The Good Wife. I used to love that show. I was like, all right, come on, let's come play over here on the Good Wife side of the Good Pod. So here we are. And I figured, what better way to bring you in than a Season 3, Episode 1, an Episode 1 where we're getting a new reset in a lot of ways in this fresh season. Before we dive into the episode as a whole, we want to remind those out there listening and watching how you can support this here podcast. You can do that by rating and reviewing wherever you're listening, wherever you're watching. If you're on Apple or Spotify, you can leave 5 stars. We love written reviews over on the Apple Podcast. You can also, if you're watching us on YouTube, you can leave us a thumbs up. Just click the little button down there somewhere, leave us comments. We'd love to interact with the audience out there. So if you do all those things, you can help us get into the eyes and ears of more people. Now that we got that out of the way, let's dive into the episode. Marissa, take us through it a little bit.
Yeah, it is Season 3, Episode 1, A New Day. It's a whole new day. It's a whole new season, whole new day. Not the only new thing going on here.
Yeah, I only hear the will.i.am song. It's a new day. That's the only thing I kept hearing when the title of this episode was mentioned. That's the only thing I could hear in my mind. But it's a new day, and our girl Alicia's got a little bit of a new attitude. You can tell as she's coming out of the elevator here when we first see her.
We see her, we hear the music, baby to the bed thing. Like and we really, at this point, we do not know when this is happening. But we find out later this is supposed to be like the day after. We're picking right back up, and Alicia is walking into the office with a new hair, a new attitude, and also a new corner office. Like, this all happened in the span of less than 24 hours.
Happened overnight. She went to the hairdresser before she got to work. Like, that's what she did. She left her little tete-a-tete with Will last night, went straight to the hairdresser, and now she's at work. It's like that. A lot has happened in this intervening time.
Yeah, I'm just glad that she has a spring in her step, because for $7,800 a night, something better have happened
Right?
and something bad
Yep.
better have happened there with a new hairstyle. But I do want to say the good thing about I'm glad you guys invited me and watching this is I'm a rabbit hole watcher. When I'm watching TV, I start Wikipedia. Who is this person? Where did this come from? How did this go? And then I was reminded that Alicia Juliana Margulis wore a wig the entire time of the show. And I don't know, I didn't know beforehand, but the minute I found out, it bothered me. There was good reason for it, but the
I could
minute
totally tell. Like in the last episodes of season 2, I was like, Jason, I think we even commented like her hair was weird. Like it just kept getting in her face and stuff. So maybe there was an increased wig budget because her hair is like naturally curly because of ER. Because I've also been watching ER in a row. Yeah, no, this is a much better wig in that case, Tayne. Thanks for telling us.
I had no idea she was wearing a wig. Why, Tayne, why was she wearing a wig? Why was that a thing?
Marissa said her hair is curly and she said it's going to take too much time for them to get it all straightened out and get it done in hair and makeup. And they said they wanted to give her that wasp look. I guess curly, you can't be a wasp and have curly hair.
We cannot have Alicia having any ethnicity in her body. She's gotta have that straight white woman hair. We cannot have no curls on this woman. So I think that's very interesting. I had no idea that was even the case. That is crazy to me. But yeah, that's funny. That's so funny. But yeah, I just loved because as you said, Marissa, we don't know at the time how long it's been. So I was like, has this been like a month, like a few weeks? Because everything feels brand new. It's got that new show, new season smell on it. I was like, this feels like a time jump. But then we find out, no, it's been a day. So I was like, this is crazy. Yeah, like people overnight at the law firm have been moving stuff into her office, getting her a nameplate. I was like, damn, this happened quick, fast, in a hurry.
This is how you can usually tell when you're binge watching a show. If people's hair changes, then we're in a new season. But then there was a time when people got smart and they would shoot the premiere like right after the thing. And then it would be like 10 years later or whatever. Like they'd put the time jump into the first episode so that way it would explain the hair. But I'm always on hair watch. Like, what's going on? You can see it like like I've been saying, I'm watching ER and I'm like, oh, new season, new hair. This is also placing the season in the time of the Arab Spring that is happening again. Tayne, I don't know if you experienced this while you were watching the show, but I constantly am texting Jason saying, I really wish the show wasn't as relevant today as it is. But we are right in the middle of another Israeli-Palestinian conflict time at the time of this episode.
Yeah, it's so funny because I did listen to your premiere episode on the pod, and I remember you said, is this news or is this The Good Wife? Because it's still relevant. The more things change, the more things stay the same. And it's sad in a little way.
Yep.
Yeah. In this instance, there was a fight on a college campus and only one Palestinian was arrested. A lot has changed in how we respond to those in that time, but those are still happening. We have a man come into the office, Wasim Al-Said. And he apparently was a client of Lockhart Gardner. He went somewhere else and he's coming back saying, hey, Diane, I really want to invest and make sure that the person who was arrested here has good representation, because even though the state's attorney was great the first time he was here with Palestinians, he's coming across a bit harder this time and has deemed this a hate crime. Like we went from a fist fight to a hate crime. I know some of you recognized Wasim Al-Said. Where did you see him before, Tayne?
Yeah, I saw him in The Affair. He was like the psychiatrist for Joshua Jackson's character back then, and I had a crush on him. I saw him again. Crush was reignited. And I'm like, okay, it's The Good Wife. It's a serious show. I need to get it together. But I lusted for a little bit, just a little bit.
Listen, Tayne came in clutch because we came into the recording studio. I'm like, all right, Marissa, not a lot of guest stars this week. Tayne's like, hold up, no, this is my man here. You're gonna give my man some respect.
Right.
And I was like, oh, okay, like this. So this is a known person. And I looked him up. I was like, yeah, this guy's been in a lot of things, not things I've watched, but he's been in a lot of stuff. So yeah, good on Tayne for coming in clutch on that one and set me right there.
Always.
Yeah, that was good. I think the actor's name is Omar Mewali. Yeah. He comes in, he's, yo, I want to help do this. Alicia's apparently assigned to the case, and Diane has to remind Wasim, okay, cool, but like she can't really influence the state's attorney anymore. And Alicia's just like very business. I'll go to the bond meeting. Everything, is cool. Jamal is the person who was arrested, and he is being painted as a suicide bomber. this isn't the only reason why Wasim is in the office. He also wants to meet with Eli for some crisis management, which I thought it ends up being quite interesting, but I didn't know where this was going at this point. And Diane asks Will to step in. And Alicia's, Will?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Some interesting things here because Alicia is introduced to Wasim. And Wasim's like, hey, Mrs. Fork. And she's like, Alicia will be fine. You don't need to do the whole Mrs. Fork. Alicia's good. You can just call me Alicia. And then, like you said, Marissa, Diane's like, can you tell Will to come in? She's like, oh, Will? That guy? The other partner in the law firm? You want me to call that guy? She makes this face and oh, okay, what is going on? Because at the moment, because all we saw from the season 2 finale is them going into the room. We don't know what happened after they got into the room. So we're like, did something happen after the room? Because Alicia's got this face about Will. Did what we think happened not happen? So I like how they leave us a little mystery for a little bit in the episode to be like, did we think happened? Is that what happened? Or did something else happen? So I like how they put that in there. But yeah, I love how she's like, Alicia will be fine. You don't need to do with the Mrs. Fork thing because I'm not really trying to go by that name anymore. I thought that was really fun way because as Alicia likes to do, she comes in right when someone mentions the state's attorneys. Oh, the new state's attorney. Enter Alicia Fork, the wife of the state's attorneys. But yeah, I love that kind of twist on. I don't want to be associated with the Fork name anymore. Just call me Alicia.
Yeah, I was in a weird position because when the music started and he was like, "Oh, baby did a bad thing," I'm like, "Okay, they got it on together." But I'm like you said, we didn't know how much longer afterwards it was. So did something happen? Did they fight? But at the mention of Eli, I thought that I was in purgatory because I'm like, okay, it's not Alan Cumming. It is not Traitors.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to sync that all together because this is my first rewatch in like God knows how many years. And I'm like, okay, get it together, Tayne. It is not him. He's not going to say the traitors. It's just going to be Eli Gold.
It took us a while too, like on the podcast, where like anytime this man's gonna say a Dahlia or murder, I was like, is it gonna sound weird to me? But I think we've gotten past it. We're able to see Eli for Eli, especially since Eli is like a top 3 character on The Good Wife for me.
Yeah.
Like, so it's great that Alan Cumming is so versatile that I can separate the host Alan Cumming and Eli Gold. So see, like Alan, the host is not overriding the Eli Gold in my mind.
And he talks about being a host on Traitors as being his own character. Like he's not even like that person. But there is a moment in this episode where I was like, that was Alan made that joke later on in the episode. That was an Alan intervention there. But yes, Eli, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, it is something when you rewatch a show also and they've done other things, because going back to the whole hair thing where they wanted her to look like a wasp, Juliana Margulies just gives me, I can't have fun. So seeing her smile, laugh, even doing sex scenes, I'm like, are you okay? Is this outside your comfort zone? Like even on the morning show where I watch her, she's so serious. And then on the flip side, Peter Florrick, Chris Noth, he's just sleazy to me, regardless of what he's doing, saying stuff. It was a lot of separation for me. And I'm like, okay, this is just a show, but a lot was going on.
Tayne, you are speaking Marissa's love language. Marissa hates Peter Florrick with the fire of 1,000 suns. So you're speaking her language there. No, given what has come out about Juliana Margulies, her personal life in the recent past, the Alicia Florrick sternness of it all kind of fits. So it makes sense.
Yeah. There's a lot. Just Google it, peeps. Just Google it. I'll figure it out.
We don't need to talk about it.
This is the first time we're seeing Eli in the Lockhart Gardner office, like actually as a part of the team. Alicia's been sent to go get him to talk to Wasim, and Wasim wants to run a campaign, a crisis management campaign against anti-Muslim rhetoric, and is asking Eli Gold, the Jewish campaign manager, to do such a thing. And I think this is a really interesting conversation because you could tell that Eli doesn't want to do it off the bat, right? I'm Jewish. That's not a thing. Are you hiring me because I'm good, or are you hiring me because I'm Jewish? And Wasim's answer is, can't it be both? And I think that's like Eli's language, right? Oh, okay. All right. This is an opportunity. This is a business transaction. I can just go here. And Wasim hires Eli for this campaign.
I think Eli kind of respects that Wasim is being upfront in a way to be like, yeah, like you're good, but also it is going to be a good look for a Jewish man to be like up on my behalf. So I think the fact that Wasim is giving Eli that respect to not bullshit him up front, I think is helpful to Eli.
Yeah, and Eli seems like the kind like he appreciates a challenge, so you could almost see when his brain is like challenge accepted. So
Yep.
Yes. We also get to see Eli and Alicia like interact as colleagues for the first time. And I enjoyed how Eli's, what's up with you? Something's new here. And they have a little back and forth where he's like, where are you going? And she goes, court. Why? I'm a lawyer. Glad we cleared that up. Glad we got that off the table.
Yeah, she's like a court dummy. It's, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like Alicia's got this new attitude about her. Okay. And it is very pandering of the show, right? Because I think by the time season 3 comes around, the show probably sees us as, oh, we love Alicia and Eli together. And they're like, oh, you like that? We're going to put them together like in the same law office building. So you're going to get even more of them. It's pandering to us, but in the best
Yeah.
way. I love when they pander
Yeah.
to good things I like. Yes, give me more Eli and Alicia interacting in the same space at all the same times. Go ahead, give me more of the good stuff. I like that they are doing that for us, basically. That's what it feels like anyway. They're finding an excuse for Eli to be in Alicia's orbit more.
Yeah, I agree. Like as soon as she said that whole "I'm a lawyer, I'm going to court," I actually laughed out loud. The only thing missing for me as she walked away, I wanted the song. I got a new.
Or just like a panther like growl.
Yeah.
like Alicia's a feisty girl now. She's got some good loving in her, and she's just all about the attitude now. She just needed to get loosened up a little bit, if you will, because Alicia's been pent up for a while, so lacks something in her.
Yeah, she's all right. She got that good.
Yeah, for real.
Will. Sorry, excuse me. Okay. So Alicia wasn't the only person this season with new hair.
Oh.
We arrive in court to see the one and only Carriago sporting a new do. What do we think of this one?
Extreme close up on Carrie and the new do, and it's okay. We get it, good wife. You got a new hair budget for the new season. We get it. We understand. It almost looks like they just, Alicia got a whole new styling. Where for Carrie's just more gel. That was the extent of Carrie's new hairdo regimen. Like, just put more gel in it. It'll be fine.
I didn't really notice it, but I just thought that, is it just me or did he look younger? Or is it just a gel? Did this hairstyle make him look younger at all?
I think so. I think this man suffers from like Benjamin Button's disease. Cause like every time you see him, he looks like it's a year shaved off his age. Just, what is going on with this man? Like, give me this man's skin routine ASAP.
Yeah, he like for me though, I was like, oh, this is like Darth Carey's hair. Like this is Darth hair for him. Like he's gone to the dark side. He's not like it's too spiky. It's telling me spiky danger. No. The Carrie's in front of the court saying Jamal's being charged with a hate crime. It's a hate crime. Did I mention it's a hate crime? And the judge is, I don't really know about that, but we're going to set bond at $5,000. And I urge the state's attorney to reconsider the charge. Alicia rushes over to Jamal and is, hey, I just got put on this case. Don't worry about it. This is just posturing by the prosecution. They're charging you with something higher, so you'll take a plea on something else. And we learn as Jamal is exiting the courtroom, he wasn't even there. So this isn't just a let's get the best deal for Jamal. This is he was not there. We have to get him out of the situation. They meet up. Carrie and Alicia meet up in the hallway. Classic Carrie and Alicia here. A little bit heightened. Alicia's a little bit more aggressive in her conversations these days. Alicia goes to Carrie, hey, he wasn't there. And he's like, oh my God, that's so sad. Wasn't there.
Listen, I've always said a self-righteous, pompous Carrie is the best Carrie. When Carrie thinks he is totally in the right, he's so demeaning. He's, oh, he wasn't there. Oh my God, that's crazy. Maybe we should let him go right now. Since he wasn't there. So I just love how
Are we even doing this?
Yeah, like how Carrie actually thinks he's got the total rightness on his side. He's just such an asshole, and I love that about him and his character. And as we've always said, he pulls it off so well. Where you just get an eye roll from Alicia, like, oh my God, like Carrie being Carrie.
Hey, what are your thoughts on Carrie? Are you team Carrie? Are you not team Carrie?
I am team Carrie on the shallow level. Because I'm shallow, I'm just here for the people who are eye candy on my TV. They pushed him out. He had to go there and do what he had to do, and he's just fighting for his. So I'm team Carrie in that way.
Tayne celebrates Carrie's rights and Carrie's wrongs. She loves her some Carrie. Listen, Marissa, I know you can relate because you are the same way about Will. Marissa, Will girly, Tayne is a Carrie girly. No matter what, Marissa's going to be on Will's side, and Tayne, you got the same about Carrie.
Yes, that is true. And can I just say, this is also a time where, how do I say this? back then when normal looking people were still or could still be hot. Right now, you have to be hot.
Yes.
But right now, we see regular Carrie just has to smile, and that's it. Will might not be considered like the hottest of hots, but he was hot. Just
He was
Charles.
hot.
Yeah, he was
Yes,
hot.
yeah.
So he had chemistry. So back then, it's just nice to see that when things were less complicated, you could just be hot without it being complicated.
I will say Carrie has a good lean. He's a good leaner.
He is a good leaner. I understand what you are saying.
Okay, ladies. Okay, all right. Let's turn the temperature down.
Just
in the
makes so much
podcast studio.
sense.
Okay.
He
We
leans
get it.
well.
Leans well.
He does. Just pay attention, peeps. Pay attention.
But yeah, I like what
Yeah.
you said about Josh Charles. Like Josh Charles is like a normal doofy looking guy that has his poster on her wall for a reason. So he's got that kind of doofy everyman charm about him that you don't really headline nowadays in media or
Josh
Yeah.
has been in my heart since Dead Poets Society. He
No.
will never leave.
I shouldn't. I
Listen.
actually followed him. I followed him on Twitter way back in the day, and I didn't used to follow a bunch of celebrities, but I like
yeah,
him.
Josh
Good one.
Josh Charles is my guy. He's a Baltimore boy. He's a
He is.
big Baltimore guy. So he's my guy. And I followed Josh Charles since Sports Night. Not as far back as Marissa, but I've been
still
a
good.
Josh Charles
Still
fan for a
good.
while. Yeah. So I'm down. Listen, I'm not in the same exact camp as you guys of why I like Josh Charles, but I'm a big Josh Charles guy myself.
Doesn't quite have the lean, but he's good.
No,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
I don't care about his
Get it,
lean.
Tayne.
Like he's cool. He's cool in my book.
Carrie thinks he's the coolest around because he's, yo, Alicia, we have a witness that says it's Jamal through the first punch. She's okay, but he wasn't even there. And Alicia goes, who was this witness? Was he white? Because and Carrie's, what is you being all politically correct now? She's no cross-racial identification. Like white people can't tell people of color apart. And this is there have been studies on this, unfortunately. So she's trying to use this as justification. And Carrie's 6 months in county, 1 month community service. Alicia's no, I'm out.
And Alicia tells Carrie, tell Peter there has to be a way to firm up his campaign contributions. I'm like, what? If Carrie, I'm like, why is she coming this hard at her husband? What's going on? Because we know Carrie don't know nothing about nothing. He's got to be wondering, like, why is she going so crazy at Peter right now? And why is she going so crazy in general? And what's with the hair? Like those are all the thoughts he's thinking in his mind. Like, where'd she get that hairdo? Why is she being so aggressive towards Peter? Huh, weird. But Carrie being Carrie, he doesn't really question it that much from what we see.
And good for him for not questioning, because if he was like, what's with the hair? She would just quit back, what's with your hair? So
Yeah, exactly.
Did you put through more pumps of hair gel in your hair there, Carrie? What did you do with your hair, my guy?
Back in the state's attorney's office, I guess it's Peter's first day. And he's
I'm
making
sorry.
a speech to everyone. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. He's making a speech to everyone. He's like, it's a new day. We're going to run a clean office. Also, no plea bargains. And Carrie's, oops, I just did that. We learned that Sophia's been hired. Peter, again, being the worst here, says she's good and she's cheap.
Oh, Peter. Always come for Peter. That's going to sound way off. For me, I wanted to note here, we see a whole seemingly interstaff meeting. We don't see any of the no Geneva, who is one of my faves. I love me some Geneva Pine. No Matan, no Pedro Pascal. No one's around. Only Carrie is the only person we've noticed. So I don't know if those people have been fired or they just they couldn't afford to be guest stars in this episode. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to see them down the line. Also, Sophia, get your feet off the furniture. Like, why are you sitting there like in this super unprofessional way? She got her knees hiked up on the chair. Like, what are you doing? Do you know where you are and what you're doing?
To sit however they want in the workplace, Jason.
I would do the same thing if Carrie was sitting there like that. Like, why are you doing that?
I get the shoes on the furniture thing, but yeah.
Go ahead, Tay. Go ahead.
Not to bring Married at First Sight into it, but I thought of David. She was too comfortable. She was just like I'm like, are you at work? Are you working from home? This is too much.
Yeah, this is a professional office. This ain't your house. Like, get your feet off the furniture. Like, she's all hiked up. She was just like making herself at home. I get it. Sophia is supposed to be the doesn't follow by the rules, badass investigator woman, but have some decorum. You're in a professional state's attorney's office. Like, why do you got your feet hiked up on the chair like that?
It is also her first day, so she could have made a better impression in that
Yeah.
case. Yeah. Carrie goes up to Peter's, yo, boss, about those plea bargains. I just offered one to Alicia on this case. And he's, what? Alicia? And what should I do? And Peter is so annoying. He's just follow the law. You can't go wrong with the law. If the law says 3 to 7 years, that's what it's gotta be.
Tayne, Peter could save a cat out of a burning tree, and Marissa would be like, "Oh, Peter thinks he's so cool saving cats out of trees." Marissa really hates Peter, like with a passion.
It's valid.
Thank you.
There's not a lot of redeeming qualities. Like, even when he's doing something nice, it feels like he's playing nice and he's not genuinely nice. So can't fault her for that.
Thank
Careful.
you, Tayne. Tayne, you're welcome back anytime. I
Yeah,
really appreciate it.
I was gonna say I gotta watch out, bro. I might get replaced after this episode. I don't know.
Sophia, okay. So Sophia's in Carrie's office. This is where Carrie leans. He's a leaner in this scene. And Sophia is, hey, can you slip this thing to Kalinda? Because we're a clean office now, so we should share information with people. And Carrie meets up with Kalinda, and he says, it's odd not seeing you around so much. This is a peace offering. Peter wants to run a clean office, so here, I give this to you. I don't know. What do we think's going on with Kalinda and Carrie right now?
We talked about it a little bit last episode where like Kalinda is in this space now. She let Alicia in and to be her friend, to get closer to her, to be emotional about someone, and that really backfired on her. So I think all in all, Kalinda is distancing herself away from everybody, and she's distancing herself away from Carrie because they've been in this kind of will they, won't they thing for a bit now. And the Alicia thing hit her hard. So she's, I don't want to be emotional with nobody. I don't want to be anybody's friend. So I think that's what is going on here. Now, Kalinda might also be off her game because she should have really looked at this like, why is he giving me such good information? This is probably feels like a trap, but Kalinda still might be like shaken up over all the Alicia stuff. So I can't really blame her too hard, but I think that's mainly why she and Carrie are distant at this moment.
And what is the temperature with Carrie? Is he like still salty or is he fine since he left?
I mean, he's always salty. He's always salty. He spent all season 2 salty, and I think he's probably now he's got really good footing at the SA's office. So maybe he's not as salty, but I think he still wants to stick it to the Lockhart Gardner people whenever he can. But even in his saltiness against Lockhart Gardner, he's always had this special place for Kalinda. But Kalinda is acting all standoffish because she wants to go back to her unemotional ways.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Back at the office, Eli's doing what Eli does. The best marketing, the best campaigning he could ever do. This is what we got to do. We got to make the Arab Spring seem like the American Revolution. Who is the Arab George Washington? Who is the Arab Paul Revere? I'm glad we don't spend a lot of time there, but it was fun to see. Kalinda goes into Alicia's office and drops off the envelope. And Alicia's, what are you doing? What are you doing here? Do you need something? Is there anything? And she's, I just dropped this off for you. That's it. Go look in the envelope. Don't be mean to me.
Kalinda is done like trying to appease and apologize to Alicia. You'll see it. I just dropped it off, so stop hassling me. Get lost, lady. They're both in this space of F off, get lost. I don't want to talk to you if I don't have to. And it's really icy and really, really intense whenever they meet up.
Yeah, I was going to say it was just very frosty. You got to still work together. So yes, you're mad, but just the whole, what are you doing? What do you think she's doing trying to track you? Like, of course she's bringing something for your case, but it's just sad because they were good friends.
Yeah, that's why.
Are you aware of the behind the scenes drama?
Yes.
With these two? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure.
I just didn't know how much. I didn't want to spoil anything.
I'm wondering. That's something I'm wondering too. Like, how tapped in do we want our audience to be about what's going on here behind the scenes? Because it will inform down the line. Wait a little longer till we.
Oh, for sure.
Really,
I don't want to
really
talk about
like.
It. It just is always something that I'm like, is this the start? Is this what's happening? Like, is this what's happening? How is it going to play out? And so, when I know we'll be able to tell when it happens. I know we'll be able to see, but I've also heard that being on set with her wasn't great. Even Alan Cumming was like, if we did a reboot or if somebody came a reunion, she would not come back. She would not be welcome. That is not somebody that we want Juliana Margulies coming back to. So anytime there's tension between these two characters, I'm just like, is this it?
But to clarify, it's not on Archie Punjabi. It's on Juliet
No.
Margulies. That is,
Yeah, it's not.
like,
Yes, absolutely.
tough to work with.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for the clarification, Jason. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
But it's an unsolved mystery, right? Like we don't know exactly.
Tayne,
okay, all right.
Tayne, you are a Rob Has a Podcast fan. I know this about you. And you know about the Rob and Akiva podcast. Me and Marissa went on Rob and Akiva podcast. It was the episode was Unsolved Mysteries. And they asked me, Marissa, to come on to talk about the feud that has gone on. And it's still,
We're like,
as we talked about, it's still unsolved. We don't know. There's been no official statement about what has happened. So it's all just conjecture and sparsing things out and suspicion. So we still don't really know about what went down. We can kind of guess and assume, but we don't know. We don't know there's some people out there that have no idea what we're talking about. They're like, what are they saying?
Yeah,
all in due time.
Yeah.
All in due time.
Back to the show.
Yeah, all in due time, dear listener. All in due time. Yeah.
Yes.
When it's obvious, we'll talk all about it. We'll talk all about it.
We'll tell you when you're older.
Yeah, exactly.
With new hair.
Yes. So Alicia goes and opens the envelope. It turns out is a red camera picture of Jamal's car outside the campus gates at the time of the hate crime. Yeah. So Alicia's okay. If the driver of this car is you, that would place you outside the campus gates at the time of the incident. Think about this before you answer. I don't want to influence you in any way. Cut to court to him being answered and saying, yeah, that's me. That was me.
I think this is an interesting moment in the evolution of Alicia because
agreed.
I don't think we've ever really seen her do this. We've seen other people do it. And I feel like when she's been in the room, when other people have done this, she's had that mother look of, I don't know, we should be doing this. This is the first time she's explicitly done this and been like, basically telling this man to lie.
Yeah.
Even if this wasn't you, lie. She's like heavily suggesting this man lie in court. This is the first time I feel like we've had her do this. I don't know if this is a sign of who she's become or if this was like a one episode thing to further the plot. I guess we'll see, but it feels out of character for Alicia in this moment.
It does feel out of character, but I saw it through the lens of it felt like a rookie move. Like, why would you just comfortably tell someone, think about it, imply that, it's your car? There's too many things that could go wrong without information. And I'm like, I don't know, this seems beyond you. Like, you know better. So that was weird.
Yeah, she's been clouded by the newfound attitude, newfound confidence, or she found for
$7,800.
Yeah, whatever she found that hotel room, it's really changed her. She must have found something. Real nice and real life changing in that hotel room to make her Marissa all she could know.
Hopefully, he figured out how to open the door. In court, Kira's cool. You want to say this is you? Can you swear to that under oath real quick? Is that something you think you can do? And Alicia's like, why would you have him do this? And Kira turns around and goes, cool. This car that he says he was in was seen leaving the scene of a crime. And now we're charging Jamal with the murder of Simon Greenberg in the first degree. And Alicia's like, what the frick?
Yeah, like this. So listen, like Alicia had many red flags that she should have seen. First of all, why is Carrie giving us this information? Second of all, why is he asking for this statement to be specifically asked under oath? I don't know. This is not a great. I understand this is not a great term. Okay, but is Alicia dick dizzy? Is she like? Has she gotten it? She don't know where to go. She don't know what's happening.
Since we know this is like the next day, it's not just dick dizzy. It's like she's fulfilled some sort of like fantasy from her, like her inner child is happy. I don't know what's going on. It's like more than just the feelings. It's the feelings.
Maybe she's not dick dizzy, just a hangover, a dick hangover, and she's recovering from it. But in her defense, Kalinda was also off her game. She should have known that too, and she figured that out as she got up in the courtroom and was like, wait, hold up, what's happening? And it's Carrie. You gotta always
Yeah, this is the first time that Carrie has tricked Alicia and our people. I remember there was that one time where it was these two teens that had killed or something, and Carrie tricked them into leaving the room so that he could question these people and get the real answer. So this is the first time Carrie's done this. And I think in the beginning of the show, we were like, what is Carrie doing? Because all through the first season, Carrie was not really much involved. And since then, like, Carrie is a force to be reckoned with. So I think this is a really good move on Carrie's part, more that Alicia and Kalinda are off their game. But I do think they are kind of, I think with the feud going on between Alicia and Kalinda, with Alicia's newfound whatever in Will, they do seem to be a little off their game. So much so that further down in this episode, Diane will even comment on it. So part of what's going on here.
Yeah.
The next thing we see is Will coming into the office. Okay. Big thing, still playing. No new hair on this guy, but he definitely is like all business. He's just whatever. His secretary comes up and says, Alicia was looking for you. And he's later. I'll deal with it later. So, I don't know. Like, I guess we were trying to be led that it went a certain way or something like that. But Will's definitely got a different attitude than Alicia at this point.
Yeah, but his seemed angry. And I was like, okay, what's going on? But yeah.
At this point, Kalinda and Alicia are like, okay, we have to fix the situation. Kalinda's going to go question the roommates, and Alicia's going to see if she can withdraw the statement that he just made in court. And this is when Diane is, listen, just fix it. Be better. What is going on between the two of you? And as they leave Diane's office, she sees Will. It's like such like my life. I watch my life when it's very like Jordan Catalano-esque. I'm going to look at him and I'm going to from afar, but he didn't look at me. So obviously he hates me. That's the vibe I got from that situation.
Yeah. I thought Diane was put into an interesting light this episode. She's kind of like the den mother. Like she has to like wrangle all these like angsty teens. And like, all right, I don't know what the hell is happening around here, but y'all need to get your shit together and figure out what your problem is. Because she was like the mother, like telling teenage girls like, all right, you and you fix whatever this is because it's affecting your work. Because she can tell that they are both standoffish with each other. They're both standing like 20 feet apart, where before they'd be together, like Tweedledee and Tweedledum, like always together. But she can tell something's off. She's like, whatever this thing going on is, fix yourself. So I love that from Diane, where she can just tell something is amiss.
Yeah. This made me rethink what you just said, Jason. Maybe she is Dick Dizzy. Why are you just standing there staring at this man for 5 minutes and holding your chain? Oh my God, having sex flashbacks from the night before. Get it together. I was just thinking like this transparent offices, they do not work for me. I hate them so much, but that's a sidebar. I just had PTSD.
No, I could not work in one. But I'm glad if we have an office in a TV show that they are there because it makes it easy to see things around. But I think about that all the time. I'm like, how does anyone get anything done? I'd just be watching who's walking down the hall. At the state's attorney's office, Carrie is being applauded, lauded. Carrie's the man. Go Carrie. And he walks into his office to find Kalinda. And Sophia's also there. There is a weird vibe in this conversation, which we could talk about. And also, Kalinda is after looking at the crime scene photos because she's okay. So you gave me this information that was so nice, but can I see the crime scene photos? And Carrie said, maybe not so much. Kalinda really didn't need permission. She just stole the photos and left the office. But not before. It was like strange bedfellows, all of us. This is so weird.
Yeah, and Carrie being clueless Carrie, he's like, wait, why? Like, why are we strange bedfellows? I don't understand. What's going on? And there's a weird vibe between Carrie and Sophia as they meet. And then you've got the weirdness going on with, it's like a weird triangle, right? Things are weird with Kalinda and Sophia. Things are weird with Kalinda and Carrie. And then there's this weird vibe going on with Carrie and Sophia. It's a weird triangle. And they all feel the tension in the air. Yeah, so it was a very interesting scene and a way for these three people to come into the same room.
Yeah.
Kalinda tells Alicia basically everything we need to learn about this murder. From the pictures that she's going through in her car, she says Simon was stabbed 47 times. There was a swastika carved into his head, and they have his full license plate, even though the swastika was drawn backwards. So it does look hate crimey in this situation, but we don't really have any ties to Jamal at this moment.
It's like a hate crime or crime of passion. More to be told later about that. We'll see. I don't know. But yeah, since Diane told them to get together, there's a little more warmness on the phone. Not the way they were, but they can at least still remain professional. Kalinda's giving the rundown, and Alicia is not like, shut the hell up, Kalinda. I hate you, Kalinda, or being like very passive aggressive. They're still able to get their work done now, at least.
Yeah. As the housewives would say, we can be cordial. So they were Xavier.
Yes. At this point, Will steps into Alicia's office. Do you have a minute? I just like to talk about last night. And the door closes. We don't hear the conversation, but you could tell she was excited to have to see him.
No, I mean, but the show was still being coy. The show was still being like,
yeah,
good talk, bad talk. What's the talk? And then we don't get to see the talk. We're just like, oh, what is happening? What's going on? So yeah, I love how the mystery is still lingering throughout the episode of what happened that night.
Yes, we only see the outcome, which we see after a conversation happens in Eli's office, which is across the hall from Alicia's now. And Eli gets lectured by Michael, who's a very predominant Jewish donor in Chicago. And Eli, what are you doing? Like, why are you helping the Arabs? We're Jewish. This is not what we do. And he said, did you pay me? I don't think you paid me. You're paying a competitor. This is what I'm doing. This is how the world works. And after that conversation, we can see into Alicia's office, and she's just like sitting there, like sad. She's really, I don't know.
Yeah, Will quote unquote storms out, and Alicia's looking forlorn, and so Eli's oh, okay, interesting. Eli, who for those that don't remember, Eli knows of all the Will and Alicia of it all, the faded voicemail that Eli deleted. So he knows there's more than meets the eye before, but now he's seeing this like scene of, oh, okay, maybe things aren't going so well. A really interesting scene for Eli in particular to see.
He has information.
Yes. Yep. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Lawyers are the best theater kids. They're all theater kids. That's all they want to do. Kalinda goes to campus to question the roommates. We find out that Amir's alibi is that he was praying because it was time to have Muslim prayers. And when asked who else was in the room, he said the Prophet Muhammad. That is his alibi. That's how he's going. Tariq, the other roommate, says he was out at the interfaith rally. And when Kalinda looks around, she notices that Sophia is basically just tailing her around this whole time. That's like her whole strategy, is to just follow Kalinda wherever she goes.
Hey, that'd be my strategy too. If I was a single man, if I was a single man, I'd be following Kalinda around too.
I don't even know what the temperature is for Sophia because I'm playing catch up, but she just annoyed me the entire episode. Like just hovering every single place and feeling so coy and comfortable and I'm the person here. And I'm just like, get away, go away.
Yeah. Sophia is the poor woman's Kalinda, basically. Like she's also an investigator, but as we can see, she's just following Kalinda in Kalinda's footsteps. I think even the last episode where Kalinda and Sophia working together a little bit, Sophia was still following Kalinda's lead. So it's like, they want to really put Sophia up as this big bad.
Okay.
Sexy, hot woman that takes no prisoners, blah, blah, blah. But she's really she's the poor woman's Kalinda, like I said. She's not as good as Kalinda. Kalinda is the super investigator, as we all know. And Sophia is not.
Where's your Kalinda poster, Jason?
It's just off camera. It's just off camera.
Exactly. But also there's this conversation where Sophia's, you and Carrie, huh? That's why you haven't called me back. That's why you're ignoring me. And Kalinda's, yeah. That's it. Like, she really doesn't want to talk about it. She really does. She just is trying her best to move forward. Yeah. Back in court. Okay, I give Carrie props for the switcheroo of the charge. I thought that was really good. His performance in this conversation, I was like, are you freaking kidding me? So Alicia is like basically saying, hey, let's withdraw the statement. And here's, it's a hate crime. There's a swastika right here. And she's, that's cool, but not cool, but great, happy for you. But what does that have to do with my client? How is this tying this to the client? Just, don't worry. We've got somebody else. We've got this professor guy who says that Jamal was really into his lectures about specific topics. And I was like, Carrie, you can do better. You can do better. You're grasping at so many straws here. You just hit a home run for your side by switching this up. And this is what you come to the table with? Ugh, he could have done better.
He really could have. Professor Feynman was not it.
Yeah, I loved how Alicia took this guy down with just
Yes.
the utter proof of you didn't even teach your class, bro. So what are you even talking about? You don't have any idea what you like. You can see that Alicia's done the research, or Kalinda did the research and passed it on to Alicia, whichever one it is. It's just the total dismantling of this man's basically his alibi in a way to be like, I know this man Jamal. He hates the Jewish community, this and that. As oh really? But you've actually only been in class twice to see whether Jamal was interested in this or not. And the guy's like, yeah, I know he's interested in my new book. It's like, how do you know that? Because he wanted me to send one to him through his email. Oh, you mean this signature? This is Jamal's signature. Oh crap. I was like, oh shit, we should get him. We should get him. So that was really good. And Peter's scummy self slinking into the courtroom to watch Alicia and stalk Alicia. I was like, ugh.
Yes. I hate him. If you don't know, I really do.
I was really in my Marissa bag, Peter, you asshole. You're in here just trying to intimidate Alicia by making sure she knows you're looking at her. I see what you're doing, Peter. I see what you're doing.
Going back to Professor Feynman, I feel like he was so happy to be in the witness stand, and it was the equivalent of people who sign up for a reality show for clout. He's buy my $9.99 on Amazon.com when you get there. But yeah, he loved my class. How do you know? I don't know, but buy my book. But
yes, exactly.
Like,
exactly. I
sir,
do love it. Go ahead.
I was like, sir, you're in a courtroom. This is not like going out to anyone else but the 30 or 40 people in this courtroom. You're not going to get any big book sales off this. We're not taping this like the OJ trial. Like this is not as big of a moment here for you as you think it is.
yeah.
And that's what was so great about Alicia's takedown is Carrie had put him on this pedestal. He's feeling all high and mighty. I have this book, all this stuff. She's like, yeah, but you only went to 2 classes. You used TAs for everything else. And his response is, you're being a bit rude. And she's, yeah, I am. And I'm just getting started. And I was like, yeah, Alicia, like where have you been? Love it. Love it. But then Evil Man Peter decides to corner Alicia outside, and I think things have been pretty easy for you. What? Like you're in control of this whole thing, Peter? Like you control the whole freaking world, like your life? Anyway, it's like, I think it's been pretty easy. And she's like, why? I know how you think, and I haven't used any of that information yet, basically. And I was just like, I just want to punch you through the TV screen. I know he's doing a good job if I hate him this much, but I still really do hate him.
So I have a question, and you guys may have talked about it before. How is it not a conflict of interest anytime Alicia has a case and against his office? Because him saying, I know how you think, and I'm like, okay, there's a point there because we see it play out later, and I'm like, how is this not a conflict?
Yeah, that's a good point. We have not talked about it yet, and it hasn't really been because right now they're still technically married under the eyes of the law. So there could be, I think, like at least a claim for conflict of interest. But in the past, this is the first time that Peter's been in the courtroom with Alicia. So we haven't really explored that avenue yet. He has been influential in cases. He has been on the sidelines in other times. But it's not necessarily like Peter versus Alicia at the moment. I have a feeling, I can't remember, but I have a feeling it would not surprise me if that does come up soon.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I feel like the show's not doing its job if they don't get us a Peter v. Alicia court case. But that's a good point, Tayne, because like, how can you guarantee that depending on the case, maybe Alicia will throw the case to her husband? Or that is an interesting question. And it feels like it might be just a show thing of, we'll just forget about that. Like,
just
a hand wave thing. Like, don't ask questions you don't want answers to. Don't make us answer complicated questions like that. Maybe that's what it is.
Look at Carrie Lean. Yeah,
look at Carrie's Lean. Let that distract you, Tay. Let that distract you.
Look over there. He's smiling. I'll look at it. That's enough for me.
But I think it's a good question to bring up. And is it a thing in the show universe of it's like mutually assured destruction? Yes, Peter knows things about Alicia, but Alicia knows things about Peter too. So it washes out maybe. But I think in real life, if we were like talking about this real, like that would or should be a true conflict of interest. That would.
And in the justice system that we think we have, yes, I think that would be a conflict of interest. The current situation, I don't know. I don't know how that would work out. But
exactly.
Another weak argument by Carrie in the courtroom here. He's bringing in this Battle ME Gaza Strip game designer in, basically to say Jamal's avatar wore a suicide vest and went into a school. So therefore, Jamal killed this guy. I don't think this was a great parallel. We did get to see that the judge was into the guns, which kind of plays a little bit of a story later, but it gets Wasim to want to back out and say, this is enough for me to not be involved.
Yeah. Look, listen, it's yes, it's circumstantial, but I think in the court of public opinion, it's a bad look. It's like,
and at the time.
Yeah.
And at the time.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's okay, this is not a great like thing. Like it's hard to argue that this was not a hate crime when we have it's not video evidence, it's game evidence of yes, Jamal is all down to in a video game blow up a Israeli school. So it is yes, it is like very weak actual evidence, but it is like it's a bad look basically.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I was surprised they were taking it seriously, but I had to go back in time and just remember how everyone reacted at the time, that to the point where someone plays a video game and like it was real life.
Honestly, Tayne, yeah, go back in time. But I think even today, in our quick court of opinion that is social media, that is all this, I think even today, if something like this was to happen and you'd get like a TMZ article about this because TMZ or wherever just reports anything about anything now, I think it would be a bad look. It would be even worse today, I think. If you saw this all over social media, it would be a big uproar, I think. So yeah, it is crazy, but I think that might happen today. I really do.
That is so disheartening. So we haven't moved forward.
No,
not in my mind.
We're rolling back, Tayne. I hate to break it to you. Yeah, I think we're on a backwards trail at the moment. But yeah, no, I think Jason, I think you're right. Especially, it might not be a video game situation, but I think it like somebody liked something, somebody commented on
social
something,
media.
somebody, that definitely comes into play these days. Alicia we cannot give on this case. We walked him into a murder charge and was like, we did that? It's just, okay, I did, but we, under the guise of this firm, so we have to continue to help him, and Will agrees, we broke it, we own it, but you better
I do
win it.
love Diane. Diane's like, retail rules, you break it, you bought it. I was like, that makes a lot of sense. Because Alicia's we got him to admit to a murder charge when it could have been a very simple misdemeanor in the first place. So I like how Alicia was able to convince them to stay on it, even though the big benefactor Wasim is long gone from the case. So I like that they stuck to their guns here in a way.
Wasim is also out on Eli's side and walks over and tries to get his money back. And I cashed your check. I did not like this conversation that much, because the next thing that comes after that for Eli is, let's Jews, us and the money. And Wasim kind of walks out, but before he does, did you ever hear the joke about an Arab and a Jew walking into a bar and they kill each other? And that, like, still true-ish to this day. Like, it's very hard to watch this now and listen to how we have not moved. Yeah. Like, the world has not moved. The world has not progressed. But I also like how it shows the conflict, like, not in a war situation. Like, this is impacting people, like, to this level in a business exchange, things like that.
Yeah. And when you think about the kings, they're not scared politically to say what it is, give it to you raw, where we're all thinking, okay, ease us into it. They don't care. Because if anyone watched The Good Fight, they went in. So all of that, that is their brand.
Listen, Tayne, that at the time of this recording, before we got into this recording, me and Marissa did Elsbeth, where they're even today commenting on the justice system and how it rules everything. So like you said, the Kings are not scared to shy away from topics and subjects. Yeah. And this proves it. And even today, they're still doing it. So I love how, even though it is like very like hard to look at, I feel like you need people like the Kings to show you this, to show people like us. And also, listen, this show is on CBS, right? To show as it has been known out in the greater world, CBS is the network of an older generation. And for them to show this on the face of, hey, like, this is an issue. Listen up, is a great thing about what the Kings have always done, is to, like I said, not shy away from those topics.
Yeah, it's not always going to be comfortable. And sometimes we need those uncomfortable moments to really sit with it and move forward from it, move on from it and learn.
Totally.
Especially if you're white. Just putting that out there. Yeah. The video game guy is back on the stand. He's so happy to be there. And Alicia is questioning him on the definition of a power-up and how it plays in this game. And it turns out that the suicide vests are a power-up. And so no one would really pass these up, including like the entire roster of the ESA department that plays this game. And Carrie's, wait a minute. Wait, what?
Yeah, Carrie, please don't say my screen name. Please don't say my screen name.
What do you think it would be? What do you think Carrie's screen name would be?
Oh my God.
Ladies love me, Carrie, or
Kalinda Lover 1, 2, 3.
No, it'll be the man. DAMAN.
yeah.
Yes. There you go. There you go.
312. You gotta
the
put
man-
like the Chicago area
Chicago.
code at the end.
Yeah. I just
Yeah.
wanted Alicia to decimate that guy because who gets smug about video games? Like, you're talking to a lawyer and you're feeling
Right.
like, oh, this is the only place someone asked me what a power. Just answer the question, sir. You're going to go back to video games and she's going to go back to her penthouse. So please.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, this was 2011, not 2025. 2025, that man might be making more than Alicia in this today's video game world. I don't know, but this was 2011,
That's
so
fair.
he probably still wasn't making bank like he probably would be today.
This is true. I was trying to remember that guy, the video game guy with starts with a K. He's the highest paid and he makes so much money, but you're right.
Mhm.
But I'm going back to 2011.
Yeah.
There is something to be said that this like the guy makes the game and knows the names of avatars, and I know he's got a staff that can get all this information for him, but it was really interesting. I was like, how big is this game? Is it only played in the Chicagoland area, about 35 people? Like, how do you
Yeah, that's what it felt.
how do you know all of this? But anyway, Kalinda comes in with some information and finds out that Amir and Simon were fighting in the game and got kicked off for their in-game behavior, basically. And this gets Alicia to really want to go after Amir for this case as opposed to anyone else. And she says this in front of Diane, to which Diane and Will, and Diane's, what the frick is going on? Am I like the only adult left in this room? You're holding something against her. And Will's like, I'm not being hard. She's a third year. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. I'm pushing her the way I should be pushing her. And that is that scene before the next scene.
If I'm Diane, I'm like, do we need to fire Alicia? Because she seems to be beefing with a lot of people in this office. Maybe Alicia's the problem. But I do. Will says she's treating us like peers, but she's only a third year associate. I was like, that he's trying to cover up their thing, but like Alicia just kind of walking around like they're all the same level. Girl, yeah. he's not telling the whole truth, but he's got a point. But I thought it was an interesting way to bring it up. And I guess because we don't want Alicia to look like the ultimate bad guy, Diane is putting this on Will. She's like, you're being hard on her. She's not putting it both on Will and Alicia, because if so, it'd be like, maybe we need to think about firing Alicia, because she's fighting a lot of people. She's fighting Will, she's fighting Kalinda. Maybe she might be an office problem. We might gotta get rid of her. But I do that she put it on Will. Like you are being hard against her. Yeah, like maybe Will and Alicia are doing too good of a job at what they're trying to do in these moments.
Well, that is the next question that Alicia asks Will in a location that took me a while to put together. I was like, where are they? Are they at work? What's going on?
I was like, are y'all in the Chuck E. Cheese bathroom? Like, where are y'all at? Like, you're like a place bathroom? I don't know what's going on with your kids around. What the hell's happening here?
But even still, why does Will have an apartment that's not that soundproof? I feel like he can afford better. What is going on?
Boy, you rich. You rich. You could get yourself a spaced out apartment or something. Like, why are your walls so thin?
Exactly. And not to mention it again, he paid $7,800.
Yeah, he got that black card. He could do something better than these thin walls. But boy, I don't know about y'all, but I had to take a smoke break
this was
after this
network
scene.
television. Network television this happened on.
Damn.
Are we overdoing it? Am I pushing too hard? What kind of questions are you asking to the CBS over 60 audience?
Listen, when Diane in the scene previous was like, you're going too hard on her. I was like, yeah, he might just be. And then he made the same joke in the scene later. I was like, we're going really far here. Because this is a lot.
And then the
for
finger bite.
television.
There was the finger bite.
I'm glad I rewatched it. My memory heard her say, you're riding her too hard. So then I went to rewatch it. And I was like, I would have sounded like a horny housewife if I did. That is not what she said, but that's what I heard.
But
yeah, that was great.
Yeah, this
was a great
hot.
thing for network TV.
This was hot and heavy. She said, stay right there. I'm like, oh my God, this is. And I wrote my notes. I feel like I am intruding on something right now. Like props to Josh Charles and Juliana Marco. This felt really real. I was like, I feel like I should not be watching this right now. Like, I should be turning my back, watch out for my mother coming in the room to be like, I wasn't watching this. I was channel flipping.
Yeah, shout out to the casting agents. Their chemistry screen test must have been off the charts because
Yeah.
they have chemistry.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, for real. Kalinda goes to question Amir, and Amir's not playing, and he's, I don't have to answer your questions. To which Kalinda's like, okay, let me bring in Sophia. Will you answer her questions? Because they're going to be the same questions. Then she goes and talks to Tariq, the other roommate. And oh, no. Amir tells Kalinda that Tariq was logged in under Amir's name. And then we're like hopping straight to court. It was like, boom, boom. Now in court, and Kalinda's in front of Alicia telling her all of this information. And Alicia's, what if we're making something out of this that it's not? What if it's not political? What if it's just like college kids being college kids? Kalinda's, cool, I'll look into it, but we're going to need some time. And Alicia has an answer to this, which I think she's making some big jumps. This was a bold move to ask the judge to recuse themselves on bias of religion. And
but I will say, but I thought this was a great move because everyone else,
because Will's done it.
Oh, Will did it in another episode. But so everyone, Carrie, everyone else has been making this about religion. That's been the only motive that has been used to say why Jamal would do this assignment. So I think it makes complete sense for Alicia to go, hey, we're making this all about religion. Judge, you are a Jewish man, so on those basis, like maybe you should recuse yourself due to your religious leanings, and also you donate money to this religious cause, so you might not be as impartial as you think you are. I thought Alicia had actually a really great case to have this man recuse himself, because the state's attorney is over here saying this is a religiously motivated crime. This is a hate crime. So he has no other evidence, really. No hardcore evidence. Everything else is circumstantial. So I think it makes complete sense to say maybe a Jewish judge should not take this. I thought it made sense.
I agree. I think it was. And you've donated money too. And besides the fact that he's an idiot, I'm late for my gym. Oh, what kind of, he was asking what kind of weapon that was in the video game. But yeah, I think it was a good idea.
It's like what I think she definitely has a case. It's just like the boldest thing we've seen her do in court I was like, okay, she's like swinging for the fences. She had a good time in whatever bathroom she was in, and she's ready to go. Back at the office, Eli knows that he's going to have this appointment with Michael from the Jewish Foundation come in. So he puts up the poster board with his Arab Spring campaign, does all of this stuff, and basically walks out of that conversation having Michael become Eli's client and Michael covering the costs of losing Wasim. So again, Eli showing his prowess in all realms in that conversation.
Yeah, we've really complimented Alan Cumming on his like physical comedy before, and it shows again where he's like scrambling to get all of his poster board up before Michael comes in. Alan Cumming just knocks it out of the park in every scene he's in, and this was no exception at all.
Yeah,
the jacket, like he puts on his little jacket. He's okay, I'm ready. Back in court, the judge is ready to rule on recusing himself, but then Carrie's up to bat again. This I think was another great move by Carrie. Can I interrupt you? If you recuse yourself, like you're going to be, we're going to replace with someone tomorrow, right? Tomorrow. And he's, yeah. Do you know what day it is tomorrow? Oh, and Alicia's like, you were about to rule. Don't pay no attention to the man behind the mirror. Like, just go ahead and rule. And curious, if you do that, tomorrow's Rosh Hashanah, there will not be a Jewish judge that is available to be reassigned to this case. And I thought that was a great argument for Carrie to put in front, and also shows that maybe he's not, the judge isn't as Jewish as we thought that he was, because he didn't know about Rosh Hashanah. And the judge's response was, I'm disappointed in you, Alicia. And he keeps the trial on his call.
Now, the Carrie did this, but it seems to be more of a Peter move, because like in the scene before, Peter's, I know what Alicia's doing. And I felt like this was the show trying a little too hard to have to be like, Peter knows Alicia so well. He knows what she's about to do. I was like, I didn't really buy that this is because Peter knows Alicia's moves. I know the show wants us to believe that, but it feels like a move anyone would have done. This isn't like an Alicia special. Like, it felt a little too much like they were like making this a Peter v. Alicia thing. I don't know. What did you think about that, Tayne?
I was a little confused because I thought he wanted the judge to recuse himself. Didn't he have a conversation with Carrie, and Carrie was like, we don't want him to do it. And he's like, don't worry, he does what he's told to do.
He usually does. recuse
Yeah.
himself. Yeah.
This guy's a pushover, blah blah blah. But I think this was but I don't think they wanted him to recuse himself. I think they
Okay.
were like, we're going to figure out a way that he's not going to recuse himself by making
Okay.
sure that we expose Alicia's strategy here of what she's doing
Okay.
to buy time. And I did like the
Okay.
judge is like, Alicia, Mrs. Flowick, I'm so disappointed in you. It's okay, whatever. But listen, I
Yeah.
thought that Alicia had actually a good case for recusal, but I guess the judge recusals are so weird to me because it's left in their hands to whether to recuse themselves or not. But I'm like, if they are
Yeah.
truly not impartial, why would you leave it in their hands to recuse themselves? I think it's relying a little bit too much on the honor system to be like, you're right, I am not partial in this case, I will recuse myself. I'm like, how often does that actually happen? I don't know.
Our legal system is so wonky. I was called up for jury duty and it was an accident. And I worked for the car maker and they still kept me on there.
Oh,
And
damn.
they asked me like a weird question. If you could talk to anyone dead or alive, who would it be? And I just said Kelly Clarkson. And they still kept me on there. Clearly, I'm not a serious human being. Like
some character. I'd be like Garfield. See what they did at that moment. But me and Marissa lament all the time on the show that neither one of us have ever been to jury duty, and
What a heartbeat.
we both want it. We both want to go on jury duty because
Yeah.
I'm messy and nosy, so I want to be like,
Yeah.
I want to be in the know on things. How was your jury duty experience? Did you have fun?
It was great. I thought it was fun. I was there for 2 days. We were pouring over the documents, talking with my people, and then they were like, it's done. Go home. And we're like,
Oh,
what? I
damn.
didn't even get closure. It was like being broken up with and not
Oh,
giving the reason why. So that was my jury duty.
I just know because of how things go for me, I'm gonna get called into jury duty. It's gonna be the most boring case that you could ever think of, and I'm gonna be miserable. Like I want to be on a superstar murder case to be like get all the juicy details up front. But I think if they show
Don't
me
say
like
that, then you won't. They're gonna find this recording and they're gonna be like, Jason said one time that this would be the thing. Just I'll edit it out. I'll protect you.
oh, good, yeah, please do that.
So based on the fact that Alicia was like, is this a political thing? Maybe it's just a college thing. Kalinda and Sophia team up and find Tariq at a gay bar. We go like we're just going there, just right out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It basically tells Tariq your alibi doesn't hold up, but we did find out that you were like in love with Simon and then you killed him and stabbed him all those times. And that's why you framed it like a hate crime and you drew the swastika backwards. The end.
Yeah, we've criticized this show before for just jumping to the end with no other actual footwork done. Like, how did y'all know he was gay? How did y'all figure this out? They didn't show us any of that. They just jumped right to the end. It's like, okay, cool. I did love they're like, why did you draw the swastika on backwards? What were you trying to cover? Isn't that how you draw it? I have no idea. And I love this episode because it presents it as one thing of this is a hate crime. The world is out of control. The Jewish people and the Muslim people hate each other, blah, blah, blah. And then it's just like, no, this had nothing to do with their religion. In fact, this is a story about a Jewish man and a Muslim man being in a romantic relationship. It was the opposite of hate. It was love at a certain point. So I love that spin on this and to show it's not religion. This is just an old fashioned a crime of passion. So it's like that. I love how we were able to turn it like that and to really turn the whole thing on its head.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was just a simple messaging of sometimes people are just human beings. If you don't look at them through the lens of, oh, the color of his skin, so it must be this, it must be that. Sometimes people are just in love and there's a crime of passion that happened and he was struggling with his sexuality and didn't want it to come out. And we took it all the way around and then he just didn't know how to draw a swastika. That's just...
Well, but I think that's an important point of the story is because he could have just murdered him. But he chose to make it about religion. He chose to use religion and this fight as a weapon in this situation because he's the one who put the swastika on that got this whole hate crime line going down that way. So I think it also says to me, like, be careful to how religion is used in certain situations because it could not be it could be being used as a weapon in a conversation and not necessarily like the thing that it actually is. Look deeper than just religion.
You're so busy looking at the forest or the trees, you can't see what's right in front of you. You're too busy investigating it in this way that because you think you know what you're talking about, that you're doing that to look at other things that may have been a contributing factor. So yeah, I think that was super interesting about this case.
Yeah, and to recognize that was his first thought was like, that's how the world thinks. So that would be my
Mhm.
US my alibi as the reason to frame that as the
Yep.
reason why that it was.
Yeah, totally.
Yep. Yep. We got a couple of things to wrap up here at the end of this episode. Eli and Peter are having like a conversation. Eli's on a phone call with the Jewish League. Basically, I'm assuming it's Michael on the other end. Hey, can we spin this in any way to help the Jews, basically? And he's like, I don't know. They were sleeping together. I think that's like a mixed message. But I can't find out if the guy was a top, which that I think had to have been influenced by Ellen in some way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was just so
absolutely.
cheeky. It was so cheeky.
Absolutely.
But Eli's meeting with Peter because he's drawn up a proposal to run for governor. And Peter's just, I can't do two things at one time, Eli. I can't think about the governorship while I am doing this job. And he's, that's cool, because I'll just worry about the governorship for you. Also, P.S., by the way, if you're worried about Will, I can tell you there's nothing there. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about Will. And he's like, the real thing here is, Eli, you don't want a divorced candidate, right? That's what's going on.
Yeah.
So any other takes on that conversation?
I thought it was fun just to see Eli and Peter almost hanging out like buds. It's like they're just chilling because it's good to really get back to that relationship because it's been a minute since we've seen them really hang out together. So I thought it was like, oh, you guys still are cool to hang out. Yes, this is a strategy meeting, but you're also just chilling and drinking. I don't know.
Yeah. Again, chemistry. It's not only between men and
Mhm.
women, like they have chemistry also. So it was good
Yeah.
to see.
Totally.
Yes, but always Team Eli. And then Will goes to meet up with Kalinda, aka K. He does this every once in a while. He calls her K. I'm like, when did this come from? But whatever. Will. Oh my gosh. Will meets up with Kalinda at the bar, and they have this like conversation where Will's like, "You need a friend," and Kalinda's like, why do I need a friend? He's, we're not like normal people. Sometimes I'm in the middle of an emotion and if I don't feel anything, I'm acting like someone who feels something.
I'm like, should you say that out loud?
Yeah. And I was like, where is this going, Will?
This scene really confused me. It confused the hell out of me. I was like, what is this for? What is this supposed to be saying anything about anything? Is this supposed to be a window into how Will is feeling? But we didn't really get any other, I don't know, scene about Will and why he's feeling this way. It was very odd to me.
I just wrote myself a storyline and Diane spoke to him and was like, something's going on, just trying to see if he can feel it out. And this was how he thought he could connect because they think Kalinda's a droid. So he's I can't do it because is it leading up to something? Is it a setup for, I don't know. It was just very random too.
In the context of the episode, I was just like, this does not make any sense at all. You could have really plucked the scene out of the episode and not have it in any kind of way.
Are they trying to get us to doubt him? You know what I mean? Is that the only thing of like his feelings aren't real for Alicia aren't real? But we haven't really seen any. We've seen more feelings from Will on Alicia before they went to the hotel than after they went to the hotel, like with him being so concerned or making sure she's okay and like more affection, more like care in that way. So I too am very confused, but Will is not because he has to go somewhere at 8:45. On the dot. He has to be somewhere very specific. There were some things going on with the kids this episode that I just lumped all together. Grace got a tutor. What do we think of this tutor situation?
The tutor, the end.
Wait, I need y'all to tell me what's happening.
What is this?
I had no idea this was coming. There was no report card conversation. So I don't know where this was coming from.
Yeah, it felt like I think this tutor person will actually be around for a minute because I, for some reason, remember something about a weird tutor. But this was, talk about a nothing burger of a segment, a nothing burger of a storyline, at least in this episode. She hangs out with the weird who I think in the 2025 world would immediately be identified as neurodivergent, which I don't know if that's where the storyline is going, but it feels like in 2025 lens, they would come right out with that. But yes, she's quirky, she's different, and Grace is not cool with that. They get on the subway and the tutor does a weird dance.
The L. She gets on the L.
I'm sorry, Chicago.
Yeah.
Person.
Show
the
up.
L.
Yeah, that's right.
The L. They show up on the L. The tutor does weird dancing with a soccer team. I was just like, why did I need to see this? This is nothing to me.
As she yells out Bollywood and just
Yeah,
jumps in and starts dancing around them, and wasn't even it was very weird, and
Yeah.
Grace didn't have the wherewithal to be like, I'm not doing this. But I also remember that TV kids are silly, and the Florent kids were high up on my annoyance.
Yes, you're on the same page as
Yes.
us. We hate the Flork children. We cannot stand those children. They are the worst. And especially in this episode where we're talking about such cultural things and how like accurate and not accurate they are, for people to go on the L and be like Bollywood and just do random dance moves, like feels a little tone deaf in the context of the rest of the episode. But it was really a deflated balloon storyline. Okay, can we get back to the real story, please? Can we get now? Like, enough of this.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. On the
And,
other
like-
hand, whoa, go ahead.
No, and this is the two. Like, Grace didn't learn anything. Like,
No.
Grace and Alicia are chilling. Just like, yeah, she's coming over tomorrow. Set my new computer. And Alicia's, are you actually going to learn anything? I'm like, no, she didn't learn a thing. We didn't see her learn a damn thing in that whole segment. Oh, Alicia,
Well,
you should
and it
look
was
into
such
this.
like a mom kid conversation of Alicia saying, "Tell me you're learning something," and Grace is like, "I'm learning something."
No, she's not.
Yeah, I'll tell you. They also have a conversation in that same conversation about how Grace notices that Alicia is happier without dad. And I was like, yeah, who wouldn't be? Zach, on the other hand, has told Alicia that Nisa's parents want both Alicia and Peter to come over for dinner. This obviously is not going to happen. But Zach wants to make sure that Alicia knows that he didn't say anything. He hasn't said anything. They think they're still together. Mom, I'm doing good by you. So that's what's going on there. Whatever. At the end of the episode, we do see Alicia and Peter exchange the children. Peter comes to pick up the kids. They ask if they have to bring their homework. Like, a duh, kids, a duh. And it leaves Alicia in this like empty house for one of the first times. The last time we saw her in an empty house, she was taking all of Peter's stuff and moving it to his new apartment. But this time she's not. She's got her new hair, her new wardrobe, and she's just getting ready, looking at herself in the mirror, and then the door knocks. And then that was it.
I think this could have been so much better if they made this like a really suspenseful moment. And we see Will coming out. He's maybe a little early. He's like 8:43 or 8:44. We see Will getting in there's imagine the lobby of the Floric rest. There's two elevator banks. Will gets in the left side. He's on his way up. Peter and the four children are on their way down the other elevator. We see that moment where it's passing cars, or God forbid, Will's very early, steps out of the elevator as Peter and the kids are leaving the apartment. It's like super duper awkward. And like you see the Peter and Will silent standoff. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? And then Grace and Zach are like, is it mom's boss? Let's go, children. Let's go. Like that could have been done in so much better fashion, but we're a little too early in the game, I think, for a scene like that. So
Yeah.
I understand why that was not the case here, but yeah.
The elevators did a lot of work in the last episode, so
Yeah,
we gotta
a
give
lot
them
of
a
work.
break.
They sure
We
did.
gotta give them a break.
That's true. I gotta say that this is something else that is outside of, this signifies the new Alicia. It is risky having Will come to the house, knowing they're going to do a pickup. There could be delays. Her annoying kids could be like, Mom, I don't want to go. And they could be there. It was just a really risky move. And I don't know if I'm like good for her. Question
Well,
mark.
and especially if you were doing, like, I don't know. If I were doing this, I will say, if I were doing this, why wouldn't you just tell him to come at 9? Why wouldn't you just give him
Yeah.
a buffer? Why wouldn't you just make sure that there was no way that could have happened? Or I will text you, because texting did exist. Like there were other ways to handle a chance, but
You maybe had to write the punch in the number you'd have to do on the old keyboards live 3 times.
Yeah, of course, it was there. But I think both of you are speaking to the fact that something like this is probably in our future, like where they will see each other coming in and out of certain places. Yeah, she's going to answer the door. They leave this like, oh my God, am I going to? No, she's going to answer the door.
Yeah, what do you think that look was to herself in the mirror? Am I actually doing this? Like, is this what my life is like now? I'm having my ex-husband and my kids go away while my new lover, my new secret lover, comes into the house. Like, is this me? Is this the Alicia Fork I'm used to? Like, I guess that was supposed to be the look that was conveyed there.
Yeah, that this is Alicia, and we're stepping into it, and you are that bitch. So
Yes. Like a hotel is one thing. His bathroom is another thing. This is her house. This is happening in her house now, and
Yeah,
she can't
Carter.
say it's not.
So listen, babe, I just spent $700-800 the other night. I got to cool it on the hotel expenses. We got to be either in your house or my house because I can't afford another $700-800 night. I got it like that, but I ain't got it like that. So we got to chill each other's houses for a minute. No more secret hotel rendezvous. But yeah, like Alicia's, we're gonna start with the mirror. She's like, got my new hair did, reapply my lipstick. Let's do this thing. It's wow, like you really are that new woman. In the show's timeline, it's been quite a week, maybe, as far as Alicia's life was a week, maybe even bring it back 2 weeks ago, where her and Peter were like on the road to reconciliation.
She did the whole interview. She was like, this guy's a good guy. I know he made a mistake, but he's good and I stand by him and I love him and it's my children and blah, 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 blah. And now it's, hey, Will, come on over.
Yeah. And a couple weeks later, she's waiting for Will to knock on the door and maybe knock on something else. I don't know. But like that's her life has drastically changed in the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that, I can't wait to see what else is next for Will and Alicia. Like we've said, Tayne, we love doing this rewatch podcast because it's so far in the future and so far in the past that we don't remember every single storyline, every single beat. So it's fun to rediscover these things as we go along. So I'm excited to see what's next, even though I know I've already seen it, but I can't wait to remember what I saw before. Tayne, thank you so much for coming on. We had a blast talking about this show with you. You're welcome anytime you want to come on. Remind the people again where they can find you on social media, where they can find your podcast, all that good stuff you want to plug.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. This was so much fun. And I might have to add this to my watch list that's already full. But you can find me at Altar Call MAFS. That's ALTARCALLMAFS. And that's the same thing on Instagram, on Twitter, on Blue Sky, and on Threads. And if you'd like to join my Patreon, that's patreon.com/AltarCallMAFS as well.
Nice. Marissa, how about you?
You can find me at itsmemarissag.com. I've got links to all of the things, all of the places. The easiest way to keep in touch with me is my email list. And that's what I got. Jason, what about you?
You can find me on Blue Sky, JR33D. You can find my podcast. I'll be here, of course, every week going over it again. And Elsbeth, while that's still going, we got 2 more episodes of Elsbeth we were talking about in the next upcoming few weeks. You can also find me on my podcast, A Perfect Match, where we just launched our Patreon a few weeks ago. We've had a lot of fun going through the past of Married at First Sight. We're talking about season 1, doing a lot of other fun things in the Married at First Sight realm. So come and check out our Patreon, A Perfect Match, at patreon.com/A Perfect Match Podcast. Check us out if that floats your boat. That's all from us this week. Until next week, stay good.